Okay, so you've got your comp done for project 4. Now you got to make this wireframe that Ron's making you do. How in the heck do you do that?
I don't want to know.
Well, remember my recommendation is this. If you just print out your comp onto a piece of paper so you have it in front of you. I think the easiest way to do the wireframe is just to make notes right on that printout of what the dimensions are. And so remember, what you're going to show is the position of each element, the size of each element, and then the spaces in between each element. And all of these things will allow you to build your boxes and add your margins and padding to get things positioned just the way you want them. So I'm going to show you how to do this in both Photoshop and Illustrator. So this is Photoshop in front of you now. And you'll notice that I have things on their own separate layers. This is very important because you need to isolate the element so that you can find out the position and size of just that one particular element. So for instance, you'll see that each piece of my type is on its own separate layer. You'll notice that I have 3 photos here that each are on their own separate layer. So in order for me to find out exactly how big they are and where they are, I need to do just 2 things. Number 1 is I need to go up here in the top control window and I need to click on the Show Transform Controls. So I usually leave this turned off, but this is a case where it's really quite helpful. And so you'll notice that as I click on each layer, it shows which layer is active, and it shrink wraps right to the element on that layer, including the type. And so this is what you need. So where do I get the measurements from? Well, isn't that a darn fine question?
Thank you.
Well, you go to the Properties window. So most likely you already have the Properties window available. It's over here on the dock, and you'll see it looks like a little cube and a couple of rectangles. You just click on that to open it. Now, if for some reason you don't have a Properties window, well then it's available under the, wait for it, Window menu. And so just open that up. It'll open up this little floating window. You can leave it floating or attach it to the dock, whatever you want. But here's the key. Now, as I click on each object, you will see that the size will change, the width and the height, and the X and the Y coordinates will change. And so X and Y are measured from the top left corner. So X is going across and Y is going down. Now you may notice that the measurement system is currently in inches, and you need to have it in pixels because that's the measurement system used in the web. So if I click away so that nothing is marked at all, so I just clicked at the bottom of my layers window here, you'll notice in the Properties window at the bottom it says inches. Well, I can change that to be any different measurement system I want, including pixels. So I'm going to choose that. And now when I click on a layer, it will give me the size in pixels, and it will give me the X and Y in pixels as well. So you might have to do a little bit of math. For instance, if I look at the X and the Y of this first picture here, and I want to know how much is in between, well, if the X is currently 47 and the width is 125, you need to add those together, and then if I click on photo 2, that will tell me the X position. So if I take the information I get from this one and subtract it from the information I get from this one, then all of a sudden I know the margin or the space in between each of those pictures as well. And so you obviously, with something like this, which is a grid, you wouldn't have to do that for every single one, but you'd need to do it until you figure out what those measurements should be. So that's it for Photoshop, and Illustrator, if anything, is easier. We have a similar situation. However, the good news is you don't have to have everything on its own layer. There are a few layers here, but certainly not a layer for every single image. So they can be all in one layer even, as long as all of the elements are separate. And then you have the ability to just click on an element to mark it, and then again go to the Properties window and you can get the same kind of information. So you'll see right now my X and my Y, and my width and my height. So they're opposite from in Photoshop, of course.
Whatever.
But just pay attention to where the W's and the X's are. If I unclick and make sure nothing is marked, then you'll notice I have the ability in the Properties window again to change the units from inches to pixels. And click on a picture, and you'll see that now I have these different sizes. You'll see that the X and the Y is currently being measured from the top left corner. So this is called a reference grid or an orientation grid. And depending which one of these little squares is checked will determine where it's measuring from. And so remember, you always want it to be the top left corner. And that's telling me the X is 48 pixels basically, and the Y is 159 pixels. So in other words, over 48, down 159. And then it is telling me the width and the height of that image. That's really it. So print out your comp, and you should have done your comp first. You don't want to worry about these dimensions while you're doing your comp. You just want to lay it out so it looks good. Once you've done that, then you can print it out. You can come into Photoshop or Illustrator, whichever program you use to generate your comp, and just use these techniques I just showed you and write those dimensions down on your printout. Voila, your wireframe should be done.